allowed to record.
All right, wonderful. And I will ask the first question. I'm putting it into the chat right now. But it is simply, could you introduce yourself and explain why you are a candidate for Oakland School Board?
No, absolutely. My name is Maiya Edgerly, and one of the reasons why I'm a candidate for the Oakland School District, as you all may know, there's just a lot going on in the district right now as far as school closures, budget cuts, and as far as with COVID-19, I feel like there needs to be innovative leadership. And by that being innovative leadership, there needs to be someone like myself that comes from the nonprofit background. I actually work with disenfranchised youth. So I work with youth here in Oakland, California, who've been homeless, and I have great relationships with K-Poor Social Impact, so many different people that I've worked with in actually helping youth in these past 6 years. I had 6 years of working with disenfranchised youth here in Oakland, California. So I just want to just bring my expertise and my innovation and my, most importantly, being able to, start from ground zero and working. I've worked in impossible situations with youth and going through the systems as far as helping them find resources. And I feel like I could bring that to the board of directors. And I'm actually a third generation Oakland educator. So I feel like I have what it takes to be authentic and to be that spokesperson between the schools and also the parents. So I feel that I could, fill that position very well.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sorry I didn't put that up sooner. Sorry about that. So the next question is a little bit long, so I just put it in the chat.
Okay.
So the question is, what is your strategy to run a competitive campaign for the school board? And will you commit to rejecting donations and support from privatization-linked organizations such as Go Public Schools and the California Charter School Association?
Sure. So as far as my strategy running a competitive campaign, my campaign that I plan on running will be a grassroots campaign. So I don't plan on taking any additional funding from Go Public Schools or the California Charter School Association. I want to be able to run a campaign that reflects my morals. And my morals have always been being as authentic and as real as possible. And as far as a competitive campaign is concerned, my strategies is basically just diving into what we're seeing as far as the limited resources that we're seeing with our students here in Oakland, California. And that's I feel like that's going to give me a competitive edge, being able to fully address that the disenfranchisement that all these students are facing right now. And it's going.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm looking at the question and the timesheet at the same time. But yes, as far as having a competitive campaign, I feel that with me working with students firsthand and actually having a nonprofit that's actually had outreach services to Oakland High School back in January. I fed students. I've helped them get into college and job placements. I feel like my campaign will be very, very different and authentic than my competitors as far as the campaign strategy is concerned. And I hope I answered it in its entirety.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I get the short questions. So what is the role of the school board?
So the role of the school board basically is just being a director of the school board is basically to be the spokesperson of as far as how the spending is being, the upkeeping of the spending, and just being the face of the Oakland Unified School District to me as far as resources and as far as business is concerned. I feel like that person of the school board, they should be authentic and to really give, they're basically, in a way, if we're looking from like maybe a storytelling journalist perspective, they're the spokesperson of when they're supposed to be honest and have the best interests of the community and the schools. They're basically, how can I say this? But as far as they're supposed to be honest with the parents and the students and just the community as to as far as what's going on with legislation, political affairs, and they're just the face of all of those elements all in one.
Thank you.
I hope I answered the question.
Okay, so I got another long one.
Okay. Looking at the chat box too.
Right. Sorry, 1 second. My computer's a little slow today. So legislation like Prop 39 and Measure G have resulted in OUSD public schools and charter schools competing for resources. How will you navigate the situation to ensure equitable distribution of resources, funding, and access to district-owned property?
As far as navigating this situation, I believe community engagement is really super important. And I feel that as far as navigating legislation between Prop 39 and Measure G, I feel that it's first important to just get the community engagement portion, start with that. And then also, as far as, and I know Prop 39 has to do with illustrating facilities, charter facilities with Oakland Unified School District. So with that being concerned, I just feel that I am for the reform of Prop 39. And I feel like there are some, as far as a policy is concerned, and I have to think about this one. This is to ensure distribute funding access to. This is a tough question, but I feel that as far as the resources are concerned, with resources and funding, I feel that with Oakland Unified School District so far, as far as that, I just feel that with the resources and the funding, there is some improvement that we, as board of chairs, if I was supposed to come into the picture, I would like to reform. Actually, and I can't. This question is so difficult, and I'm sorry. I was looking over it actually a couple of days ago. And it's just wow. How would you navigate this situation to ensure equitable distribution of resources? That's something I feel that with this question, especially when it comes to Prop 39, it's a little bit, I'm in between Prop 39 and I feel that as far as like sharing, because I know with Oakland Unified School District, I feel that with the resource that the Oakland Unified School District has, I feel that in a way, renting out the facilities to charter schools, I feel that, I don't know if the Oakland Unified School District is in a position to even do that. I just feel that in a way, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, at the end of the day, I do feel that, students do deserve to have, resources. At the end of the day, I feel really strongly about students. And I feel that students are in the middle of this crossfire between the charter and, with the facilities being rented out. I feel like at the end of the day, students are being impacted. So I feel like with that question, I'm in between. I don't know if that makes any sense or not. I feel that the Oakland Unified School District does have a lot of work to do as far as like illustrating those facilities out to charter schools. And then at the end of the day, students do, on the charter side, they do deserve to have those amenities and have access to that. But I'm in between that.
That's fair.
That makes any sense.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you so much. And I'm going to post this one before I start reading it, so you have some time because it is a long one. So could you describe some examples and sources of environmental racism in your district and say how they have affected OUSD students, parents, and educators? What commitments can you make towards combating the disproportionate impacts of pollutant exposure on OUSD students, parents, and educators?
Thank you so much for asking this question. This question is very near and dear to my heart. I actually live in the 3rd district in West Oakland area. So, and I actually had a cousin who played on the Climate's football team. And as far as the lead poisoning was concerned, that was found in the water of McClymonds High School as of this year, and the school had to close. That's something that I felt that is a great example of environmental racism. And I feel that with McClymonds, McClymonds already, being faced with, possibly closing, as a school. And I feel that with the lead poisoning, that was just a sign to community, myself, and other stakeholders that, that McClymonds is a great school, but they're not really getting the resources that they need. And I feel that if I became a candidate, I will make sure to enforce and work with different partners, and bring on different partners that Oakland Unified School District and the board of directors could work with to kind of combat against, this environmental, issues that have a huge impact on, students of color and students, who live in the West Oakland area. And I just feel like, as far as my commitments are concerned to compacting those pollution exposure to Oakland Unified School District, is that, again, bringing on partners that could help us combat against, lead poisoning, doing more testing, and just making sure that, there aren't students being, having impact to cancer. That's something I definitely want. I really feel strong about that. I will definitely implement in my campaign. I'm sorry for going over.
Thank you. And I also put this one in the chat. Students and families identified lack of student support, class size, deteriorating school facilities, high teacher turnover, and outdated curricular resources as the highest priority issues facing our schools. How would you partner with teachers, students, and families to solve these problems and meet the needs of students?
Absolutely. So coming from a college readiness background, with I have operated a nonprofit for more than 5 years. So I've already worked with most of the schools in the Oakland Unified School District to combating against, outdated curricular resources, and just helping them as far as combating against these inconsistencies that we do see in the Oakland Unified School District. So as far as partnering with students in Oakland and parents and families to solve these problems, one thing that I plan on doing, becoming a candidate, is just being able to work with those future centers that you see at Oakland High School. I've worked with the Oakland High School Future Center, and building partnerships in the college readiness sector is so critical and very important as far as working towards, student support. And then also as far as class size and deteriorating school facilities, I really bring a very unique expertise in, I was an organizer at one point, and then also being able to fundraise. I feel that that's something that I bring to the table as well as a candidate as well, as far as identifying partnerships, the right partnerships that could bring resources to inner city youth here in the Oakland Unified School District. And as far as outdated curricular resources are concerned, I actually have partnerships with Apple, an Apple store, where they teach free coding curriculum that I have access to with that relationship. And then also as far as teacher turnovers, with having relationships with being a second generation educator, I could definitely work with different, neighborhood groups and advocate for the students and be the teachers, sorry. So much I want to say with that. Do you think I'll be able to expand on some of these questions with the questionnaire? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry about that.
You are muted right now, actually. Okay.
Right. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's a beeping going on the other side of my room, and I think it's my watch. So let me turn it off.
Okay.
Sorry about that. I just had a double watch thing going on.
Not a problem at all. We've had other ones where there have been phone calls mid-interview. It's
Oh,
not
no.
an unusual situation.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So I'm going to post the question and then ask it. So, do you believe in and support the right of public school employees to organize and bargain collectively? How will you work to maintain and strengthen employee rights, including bargaining changes in job descriptions and assignments, healthcare, and pensions?
Absolutely. So I believe as far as supporting, public school employees, I believe the employees and teachers are the heart of the Oakland Unified School District, and that's something that I definitely want to amplify in my campaign and running and moving forward. And also as far as becoming a part of the education board, that's something I definitely will work hard to make sure to vocalize, to make sure that in employee rights and bargaining chances and job description and as far as healthcare is concerned, especially in the wake of COVID-19, I feel like that's something that I will take seriously as a board of director, being on the board. And yes, so as far as bargaining changes and job descriptions and assignments and pensions, I feel like that's critical. It's very important. And that's something that I feel as an individual and, being a child of a teacher, that's something that, that's very near and dear to my heart that I will take on if I am voted to become a director of District 3. So healthcare is something it's critical. That's everything. And pensions as well for teachers and employees.
Thank you. Okay, we're at the end. So if you have any questions for us, we'd happy to answer them. And also, if you wanted to make a closing statement, please feel free to do so now.
Sure. So for my closing statement, I just want to just basically just say that I would love to have the support of the association. First and foremost, I believe I'm one of the youngest candidates that's running. And I feel that being a resident here and a third generation West Oakland resident, I feel that I have a firsthand of what students really need. And then two, working alongside with Oakland Unified School District for 6 years, I've dedicated 6 years of my life to find ways to find resources and to help students of color and help students who are disadvantaged, who don't have the resources, financial resources to go to college. I have a huge background of sending students right here in Oakland, California to colleges and also providing job placements. Well, I've worked with Oakland Unified School District directly as far as illustrating outreach services with Oakland High School, McClymonds High School, and I feel that I have what it takes. I'm an authentic voice. I may not be, I don't call myself a politician. I really want to be the voice for students and also teachers to find that correlation between charter schools and the Oakland Unified School District and trying to find a common voice and some type of unity to do what's best for our students.
Great, thank you. Jeremy, do you want to explain the process?
Sure, and I'm going to stop recording now because we.
Okay.